guys, I'm Evan Etzbeth, a Springbok rugby player. You're watching Gareth Mason on Walking Tour with G-Man.
What's up guys, and welcome back to another video. Today's video is all about the Rugby World Cup, and we're going to talk about the contenders. Who are the real contenders for this tournament? Who are we looking at? Who are we watching? Are we aware of certain teams that we might actually be underestimating? Or do we just think it's going to be a rightful winner? Now obviously we all know the All Blacks are the favourites, hands down. They're probably the biggest favourites of this tournament. Why? Because they've won it 3 times already. They're an opportunity to win for the 3rd time in a row, getting a hat-trick, making history, which is going to be absolutely unbelievable for them if they get it right. We've witnessed great domination of being world number 1 for so many years. Yes, they've been defeated, but we cannot take away what this magnificent rugby team have achieved over this past decade and more. It's truly been amazing. The players that have been built and developed within the system is truly remarkable. They've handled their rugby as top professionals, and they've completely dominated not only international rugby but provincial rugby too. I mean, Crusaders are on the verge of winning another Super Rugby Championship. We could even see the Hurricanes, or we could even see Argentina, who I will talk about shortly. But it's an overall, you've got to say, the All Blacks are the number 1 favourites. They play South Africa in the group stages, and then they'll mix on. But again, and this is why I'm doing today's video, we've got to talk about the contenders, because the World Cup brings out the absolute best out of everyone. And I think we're all going to be thinking ways. Australia, no chance. We can't quite say that, because yes, they're going through a very tough stage, and they've lost their star player in Israel Folau. But we gotta still remember, this is the championship. This is a World Cup. Australia are strong in World Cups. They've done well, and we can't forget that. They were in the final in the 2015 World Cup. They did well in the 2011, although they shouldn't have beaten South Africa, thanks to Mr. Bryce Lawrence. But these things happen. But at the end of the day, we cannot write them off. They're a great rugby nation, yes, going through tough times, but we must also remember they are fighting for a position early hours of the morning as I record this, against tomorrow morning against the Jaguars. So they still managed to get somewhere, and we can't take away the fact that at the beginning of this tournament the Melbourne Rebels really looked strong and showed a lot of class and potential. And the Waratahs had their moments, but unfortunately when Folau left, they just dropped down, which was unfortunate. The Reds had their moments, but they weren't really the strongest team. But overall, the Australian rugby nation, we cannot write out. And I know a lot of the fans have written them off and all that stuff, and it's sad, because Australian rugby, let's face it, isn't in the greatest places at the moment. But we're better, and what a better time to redeem yourself and to prove all those critics wrong than the Rugby World Cup. Like I said, they have the potential to do things, and we can't count them out. So are they contenders? Of course they are. Will they win the cup? Maybe not. But we can't write them off, because anything is possible. Then we go look at down in the Northern Hemisphere. We've got Ireland, 2018, best year ever for them. The quality of rugby they played was remarkable. Beating Australia in Australia for the first time in years. Beating New Zealand. Winning the Six Nations, grand slamming it. Truly remarkable. Everyone is talking about Ireland being the new favourites of the World Cup, being the new top guys. I thought so too, I really did. But then came 2019, they slipped down a bit. They lost their mojo. They weren't to that level that they were last year. However, can you write them off just because of the start of the year? Hell no. Because that team still exists that we witnessed last year. Yes, there might be an injury or two, but we can't forget the quality within this Irish squad. You got Furlong, you got Peter O'Mahony, you got Johnny Sexton, you got Conor Murray. Conor Murray and Johnny Sexton are 2 of the greatest combinations in world rugby, along with Aaron Smith and Beauden Barrett. You can't count them out, guys, and what they've earned. Johnny Sexton is still World Rugby Player of the Year, so from last year. So we cannot count these things out. Coach Joe Schmidt, Coach of the Year. He's got a brain. He is talented. we cannot write them off, and therefore they are definitely still contenders. Yes, they hiccup, and when it gets to this to the quarterfinals, they choke and they don't get past into that semi-final. They can't get that extra mile. Could this be the year? Well, they're going to meet South Africa or New Zealand if they go the way I think it's going to go, and it's going to be tough. But anything is possible. Ireland have beaten both teams before. They destroyed us, record-breaking win in Ireland last time we met, South Africa met, and they beat New Zealand. So we can't write them off. It is a top quality squad. England started off when Eddie Jones joined them. It was the greatest thing ever. England were on fire, winning the Grand Slam, Six Nations, really going at it, giving teams a run for their money. But then came last year. Wasn't the greatest of year. Six Nations ended fifth. Lost to South Africa 2-1 in a series down when they played in a 3-test match series. Then came the November internationals. We saw an improvement. They played New Zealand. They were ahead at times, but unfortunately, I think it was the 84th or 85th minute, they couldn't hold on. But yet, that was a sign of improvement. Come the Six Nations of 2019, we saw a much better, improved England squad with the likes of Owen Farrell really leading them. Remembering that there were a lot of injured players that were out. I mean, Vunipola was in and out, but Billy was as well. I mean, Mara Itoje, he was gone within the first 2 weeks, I think it was. So a lot of players. Hartley was out the whole tournament. He's still no one's sure if he's even going to make the World Cup. But again, England's got that squad too. Eddie Jones is no football either. He's got the brain and the quality in order to come back and bring it back for this team. So for me personally, are England contenders? Of course they are. We've got to watch out for them. They are on the rise. We must watch out. The summer tours are going to be very interesting. Then we got Wales. What a journey have they been on. Truly remarkable. I mean, 2 years ago, they weren't the strongest players. Then came 2018 where they started winning games. I mean, 2019, what a year. They're on an amazing win streak. They're second in the world. They are the new big thing that everyone's talking about in the Northern Hemisphere. And you know what the sad thing is? There's a lot of people out there who are not giving Wales the credit they deserve. They've come a long way. They've been through hell and back, and they've really come back and shone. They had so many injuries, but yet they managed to come back and play quality rugby and win that Six Nations Grand Slam undefeated, beating the best and getting their way. Yes, the last time they beat the All Blacks was keepers, I think over 100 years ago or something like that. So they haven't had that contest yet, or that win, whereas Ireland actually have. But we can't write them off. They've done well. They've done remarkable. They've got a great team. Jonathan Davies is brilliant within the centre. I mean, Halfpenny, great point scorer. Gareth Davies, great scrum half. I mean, you've got Jones, who's a phenomenal leader, one of the best players in the world. I mean, Rugby World magazine rated him the #1 in the world. There's quality within that Wales squad, and they can definitely go all the way. They can cause surprises. They can cause headaches. They can really go and prove a point, and also silence their critics, because they've got a few too, which is unfortunate, because I think Wales deserve a lot of respect and credit for what they've achieved this past 2 years. I think it's really been remarkable, because if we have to go past that, it was unfortunately bad. But I mean, jeepers, when they beat South Africa in the States, that was really the change of something special for Wales, and for that I give them credit. Speaking of South Africa, can't write these guys off. Now, South Africa don't have a team in the Super Rugby playoffs. I know that. Everyone's let me know that quite a few times. But remember, now all our players are busy training. We're warming up. We're in the camps like all the other countries. And we're building. We're building while the two best teams in New Zealand are bashing it out tomorrow morning as I record this. And it's going to be physical. It's going to be hectic. Then you got Argentina and Brumbies that are playing just a few hours, early hours of tomorrow morning. I mean, come on, we've got a lot of rugby that's still going to play. So South Africa are training, building their team and all that stuff. Hopefully nursing injuries of players like Eben Etzebeth and all those guys, and creating something special within. Now Rusty's created a interesting camp that he's brought back, and I don't want to go too much detail because I want to create a video around the Springbok squad. But you've heard of Frans Steins back in the mix, Marcel Coetzee, Kobus Reinach. I mean, there's some great quality players that have come back, some that we haven't seen for a while, some that bring back memories of 2007 Rugby World Cup. So there's a lot of talent here, and that's one thing people mustn't forget. South Africa have depth too. We do have great players. We just need to capitalize on certain things and work on our weaknesses. And now Rusty's got the time to do that. He can work strong on with these players and really go that extra mile in order to achieve greatness. So I wouldn't write off my South Africans just yet. I won't go into too much detail because I've done a few videos on it and I will still, but definitely South Africa are contenders. Watch out, we're coming. And then to kind of conclude, I can't not, and I will mention the other teams as well. Can't not mention Argentina. Last year, the middle of the year, the junior internationals weren't the greatest time for Argentina, but that was a wake-up call. Once those games were done and they started playing November internationals and rugby championship, they really showed an improvement. The new coach has done wonders with that team, and they've really progressed so well. They've developed, they've worked well as a unit, and I mean, I say this often, I love the passion within Argentinian rugby. The emotion which you see with them on the field is truly, truly inspiring. And I couldn't be happier for this team, for just like I am with Wales, the way they've developed and come out of tough times and really progressed. The same like I gave Ireland credit last year. I mean, also, years ago, no one thought Ireland would be big contenders. Now we're talking different language now. And the same for Argentina. I mean, the Jaguares are going to play in a semi-final to probably could very well go into that final of the Super Rugby contest, which is going to make history for Argentinian rugby. And it's truly, truly amazing that they managed to achieve that. So for that, I give them full-on credit. And there's talk of the European players coming back into the mix for the Rugby World Cup, which means it's going to be one hell of a squad that they're going to produce. And one thing's for sure, the Argentines are always a threat in the World Cup, no matter what, so we cannot write them off. They are sure as hell contenders, so we've got to look out for them. Then you've got Scotland and France. Now, we all know the capability of Scotland. They have come so far as well. I love Scotland. My dad was born there, so I feel it's a part of me as well. They've shown a lot of improvement. The quality within that squad is brilliant. Stuart Hogg, one of the best fullbacks in world rugby. You got Finn Russell, one of the top rugby players in the world. There's quality. You got Laidlaw, who I've rated all my time watching Scottish rugby. You've got quality. You've got Watson and I mean all those blokes. It's a great squad. They will definitely be a dark horse in the threat. Can they win the World Cup? I don't think so. But they are a definite threat, and they could cause upsets that could lead to a big team not getting that way. So for me, you've got to watch out for Scotland. They are brilliant. France, on the other hand, look, they've not done much to really wow me. I know they're a great nation, and I know the quality in rugby, and I know when it gets to a World Cup, they are strong, they are determined, pretty much like the Australians. And they show up. They didn't do too badly in the Six Nations, but they, like I said, they've done nothing to wow me. So for me, do I see them as contenders of winning the World Cup? No. Do I see them as a threat for certain games? Of course, yes. It's World Cup. Everyone wants it. And to go back so I don't offend anyone, remember, it's a World Cup. Anything can happen. Just like Japan beating the Springboks. Anything can happen. We've got Japan still. They're at home. They're going to be comfortable and living the dream. You've got the Pacific Island teams like Fiji, Samoa, and them. Quality within their own respective nation. They are threats. They are strong. They've caused upsets. They've beaten bigger teams. Can't count out Fiji. You've got the Namibians and Georgia. I mean, there's so much talk around these small teams. And we've got to watch out for them because they can cause an upset. If Japan can do it, sure as hell the other teams can do it. So we've got to watch out. So yes, contenders, pretty much those first big ones I mentioned. But overall in the World Cup, you've got to watch out for everyone. New Zealand favourites, but watch out for Ireland, England, Wales. I think they are going to be massive threats. And then South Africa, Argentina, and Australia. I mean, you've got to. I mean, it's you've got to watch out for the Southern Hemisphere because pretty much dominated the World Cup. England last one, 2003. Could this be the year where we see another Northern Hemisphere team win the World Cup? Shit, I won't be surprised because anything's possible, and the quality that we're getting from Northern is truly remarkable. That's why I'm so excited for this World Cup, and I believe it's going to bring such quality rugby. So there we have it, New Zealand favourites. With my contenders for this World Cup. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Who are you looking out for? Who are your contenders? And do you see these the minnows? When I say minnows, the tier 2, like Japan and them. Do you see them as a threat? And obviously, like I said, Scotland and France. I'll be watching out for them because they are quality rugby teams and they can cause a headache or two. It's going to be an awesome World Cup. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Subscribe if you are new so you can keep up to date with all future uploads. Don't go anywhere. So much more rugby to come. I promise you that. It's been a great week. I think I've gone, 5 days in a row. So make sure you subscribe, give the video a like, and I'll see you real soon for another video. Thanks so much for watching. Stay safe and never give up. Cheers.
Make sure you subscribe to his channel for all rugby content. Stay safe and never give up.